Hello, Querent, who has chosen group number 2 for the tarot card reading, What Are They Not Telling Me? If you've chosen this group, then you have chosen GLASYA-LABOLAS, which I hope I'm saying right. I never know. Representative of the Seven of Wands. So just make sure that this is your card, and if so, let's get into the reading. So we're going to shuffle this deck 3 times, and then I am going to announce the designators as I put them down, and we will explore what is not being shared to you. Here we go. Group number 2. So this card represents yourself. This card represents the person in question. This represents the scenario in question in between the two of you. This card will represent what they put forward to you. This card represents what they're hiding from you. And this card represents the motivation as to why they're hiding it. This card will suggest the guidance for you in regards to the scenario of these cards. So let's flip them. Got some big energy here. We got a lot of major arcana over with this other person. But let's not jump ahead. All right. You are represented by the King of Cups. Sorry if that seems jumpy. I had to cough. The King of Cups is representing a camera malfunction. And I'm back. Surprise! The King of Cups representing you. This would say that you're probably sensitive, but yet emotionally mature, good listener, a nurturer, carer type person, possibly strong water placement in your chart. Who knows? Charts are complex things. But you may be coming from like a stronger and healthier standpoint overall in regards to this scenario. The person in question is represented by the World card. So to me, group number 2, that says that this person is trying to end cycles. This person is trying to close a chapter and begin anew. What that chapter is, we shall find out by looking at the scenario between the two of you, perhaps. So we have the Four of Pentacles reversed. It's interesting here because this really gives a sense that maybe there's not a lot of direct conflict between the two of you, that you're maybe more like understanding and here for a person, but you feel like you're not getting the full details. This or both of you may be in the process of moving or having to sell off possessions or having to let go of material things in one way or another. The Four of Pentacles reversed is very much about releasing stuff, right? Physical stuff. This person is being very forthcoming over the fact that major change is at your doorstep. The Judgment card very much talks about coming to a moment in either lessons or in life where something is ending and you're ascending to a new cycle, a new life, etc. So they're being very forthcoming over the fact that something is ending, whether it's a job and having to move to a new opportunity, or whether they are ending some particular chapter or narrative or time period of their life and becoming a newer version of themselves. They are being forthcoming with that test is at the doorstep and they are meeting it head on. So, interesting. What they're not telling you, though, is the Magician. And I find that really curiously fascinating, because the Magician is the person who is capable of anything that they desire. They have all of the skill sets, all of the tools at their disposal, etc. So why would they not tell you that they're completely capable of doing that themselves? It's interesting because with the World card, this person seems like they're aware that an ending and a change is coming and a new beginning. They're very upfront about it. Maybe they're just more confident than they're letting on, actually. Maybe they're desiring your nurturing nature to support them through it, but they may not be as stressed as they're letting on or in the narrative, because, yeah, why they would keep secret that they feel confident or have all the capabilities is beyond me, aside from the fact that they like the energy perhaps that they are receiving from you. But let's look at the motivation of the Ace of Swords here, which says success through adversity generally. And, you know, this is a mind card. So I think they may be not divulging everything, but at the same time, I don't think this really is detracting from you of not knowing that maybe they're more confident than they are letting on. There's still fear, okay? With the Ace of Swords, there's still reticence. There's still the understanding that it might be rather difficult. They do think that they will succeed ultimately. There is sort of that personal belief in the process or in the journey, but there's still fear of the wounding, there's still fear of the sharp edges, etc. But I think they're not letting on that they have probably more in control or more power around the scenario or belief in self. They are being authentic, though, by sharing that there is fear. If that's the case, they may just be coming to you for the fact that they want your nurturement. And yet another camera technicality. The advice for you is the Knight of Wands. And what I really get for that group number 2 is that invest energy if you want to in this. If you're in this sort of like giver scenario with a person who is having to move on or release things and starting new chapters, but don't be there for long, if that makes sense. For me, the Knight of Wands in this case is very much a like show up, be present, give them some stuff, but don't be there for the long term. You know, don't be something that they might decide to latch onto and drain energy from because you're so nurturing and giving. You can show up and you can be a positive influence, absolutely. In fact, you may want to give them some more of that zest or fire and not focusing so much on the fact that they may be giving you a fear-based narrative over this judgment thing. It's more about trying to get them to admit out loud perhaps their belief in magician energy, and that maybe you can sort of like pump them up. But again, this is not really your responsibility either. If this is you being a good friend or a good partner or a good family member, whatever it is that your role is in between you and this other person, it's not meant to be long lasting, okay? Or it might become more of a leeching type of feeling. GLASYA-LABOLAS is the Seven of Wands, and this is the guardian of this reading. So let's think about that. With the Seven of Wands, we have the person who has kind of chosen the one that they want to stick behind or around or defend, you know, this one idea or this one passion kind of thing. So I think ultimately what this says is that I think this individual knows what they're going towards, and you can see that that's their one thing that they're going towards. It's very interesting, psychologically speaking, that they may be just wanting to have that support because it is a nice and positive energy, and give if you will and if you desire, but again, make sure that it's not long term, that they don't end up siphoning from you, that you can get them fired up and really bring forth that they believe in themselves, and then let them go off. They fine. Oops, just throwing cards everywhere. So group number 2, I don't know if that answers the question for you, but that's your reading. Please partake and engage in what the social medias needs. I appreciate if you do. I would love to hear if you have any recommendations on questions you'd like to see in the future. I'm also putting up right now some videos in case you are interested in other tarot related questions that you might want to explore. And until next time, group number 2, we'll see you later.